All right, so Sajam put out a video called Understanding Complex Character Balance Decisions. So we're going to take a look at this today. I think this is a great topic, obviously, with all the grapplers winning recently, and, you know, JP and Luke being broken, and they got balance, and then Zangief got balance, and then he was broken, and then now Zangief's winning. Is he overbalanced? So overall, I think this is going to be very good. I'll see. You know, there might be some things that I disagree with Sajam, and you know, who knows, man? Nobody come after me. Nobody come after me. Just how you might disagree with me disagreeing with him, right? You're able to disagree. But, of course, please hit subscribe button, comment down, leave a like. Original video will be in the description. Very excited to see, like, what he says, though.
Got nerfed, and people were talking about
Geef got
Geef.
Geef, they get nerfed.
Character and, like, why they rebuffed JP. The whole thing was, like, why won't they just let Zangief be good? And then there was people who were saying things along the lines of they would never let a grappler be good.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
A grappler character be strong, but like Zangief, you know, people thought he was like top 1, top
He's
5,
bottom of A. That's dude. I think Zangief is way better than bottom. Realistically, Zangief he's the best grappler, right? Like, if you were to take a look at like a tier list, in the context of like these other characters, like, okay, maybe you could be like, oh, well, Zangief should be like right here, but in the context of Zangief being the best grappler in Street Fighter 6, that would make him S tier. If you're the best at something, that brings you higher up, right? Guile, JP, and Dawson are all zoners. So Guile needs to be, you know, he's A, but I believe Guile would be an S tier zoner. Zangief is an S tier grappler. Does that make sense? I feel like tier lists in fighting games are always a little bit like skewed.
Like at the bottom of A, still one of the strongest characters in the game overall, right? And
very good.
Grapplers not allowed to be top tier. People get mad if grapplers are
true.
Top tier. Like,
yep.
That is incorrect.
Oh shit! What?
Of like what the actual topic is. Characters who are very sharp and like frustrating to deal with. And I don't mean frustrating as in like every character.
Interesting. I wonder what he's gonna say, because I feel like grapplers, like it's weird because it's weird because he goes in be like, if you think this way, you are wrong. So now when I say like, oh, I think that way, people are gonna be like, Sajam said you're wrong immediately. I think grapplers can't be top tier is because grapplers tend to beat game mechanics, right? You're like, what do you mean? So if a grappler, like if a normal character knocks you down, right? We'll say Ed, right? Because Ed doesn't have an overhead or a command grab, right? Say a normal character knocks you down. They can do a meaty, they can do nothing, and they can throw you, right? 3 options. But there's other options that the game then allows you to beat, right? So wake up DI might beat the normal if it's an unsafe normal, right? Wake up parry might beat the perfect parry, right? But then, of course, if you get thrown and you wake up parry, that's bad, right? And then, of course, you can tech the throw. I believe that if a grappler is very good, they put you in the situation to where you lose the, like, do nothing tech option and you have to do something, right? So when when Zangief, Manon, or Lily put you in this blender, right? You have to do something because the idea of you teching a throw or doing nothing is heavily skewed by the grappler grabbing your ass. And if you wake up DI, you're going to get grabbed. If you wake up parry, you're going to get grabbed. If you wake up and do nothing, you're going to get grabbed. If you wake up and tech, you're going to get grabbed, right? Having a grappler have amazing normals and then access to a command grab, right? That leads you into like Gogeta from Dragon Ball FighterZ, Broly from Dragon Ball FighterZ, Early Hit from Dragon Ball FighterZ, Early 21 from Dragon Ball FighterZ, and then you go into Guilty Gear Strive, right? You got Soul Bad Guy, right? For a while, best fucking character in the game. Also, if you try to flawless defense, he's gonna grab your ass, spend 50 meter, and fucking do a whole ass combo, put you back in the corner, right? A grappler being good, now obviously Potemkin is the grappler in the game, but if you give a character a command grab, right, like most characters do in Street Fighter 6, a lot of the better characters don't have command grabs because I think the developers knew if they gave Luke a command grab, right, or Bison a command grab, Akuma kind of has a command grab, right? It's like his whole thing. That if they were to give those characters also a command grab, they would be busted, right? So keeping a grappler good because they have to work their way in, that's what keeps them balanced. When a grappler can skip neutral and then put you in that fucking guess situation and then beat your ass, that's where I feel like people get mad at grapplers. Sorry for the tangent.
Losing sucks.
Sorry.
Like,
That's just how I feel.
Sharpen their strengths and weaknesses typically do not end up being super powerful. Let me show you
True.
a chart. This is matchups based on a ranked game.
1900 MR.
1900 MR plus. So like top 1,000 players.
My cat's on my desk. You want to see the cat?
Or something like that. This is a big matchup.
Leave a like,
from
subscribe
Cat
for the cat.
Cammy. And you may
Cat
notice
Cammies,
the
cat.
Really bright greens and really dark reds are the worst matchups. Right?
Zangief has some greens. Where's Ed at?
The hardest.
Nice.
Notice this
Balanced character. Look at all those 50%.
Has a ton of really bright greens or really dark reds compared to a lot of the cast, right? Look like a character like Ed. He has like this one bad matchup, but everything else is like pretty similar across the board,
pretty solid, right?
Character like Akuma,
nothing too
really
crazy.
Powerful. It's like very similar across. Like he doesn't have anything that's like a huge outlier. Notice Zangief and Dhalsim. Two of the characters, by the way, they are in the top 3 of win rates at 1900 MR plus. So really strong in this part of the game. But look at Zangief.
So what I will say here is, this is once again like Akuma, right? So if you were to take a look at the tier list, right? None of the people except for Ed, right, who I believe is the most balanced character in the game, none of the characters in who are S tier on that tier list earlier are S tier on this 1900 plus MR chart, right? So now you have to think for yourself, where is the disconnect when it comes to Dhalsim being S tier here, but then being C tier when it comes to a tier list from Japan or America, right? Sometimes you can't always look at one piece of evidence, right? You can't look at one piece of evidence and say like, oh, well, Dhalsim's number 1 right here, so Dhalsim's the best character. No, you have to look at like, what are these how many 1900 MR plus 1900 MR Dhalsims are there? If there's 10 MR plus 1900 MR plus Dhalsims and they're all godlike, right? Then yes, you're going to get all of these, how do you say? You're going to get all of these, like, they win all these matchups. And then when you go lower to a more common character like Akuma, you know, the Ken, the Luke down there, right? They're going to be a little bit more 50 because there's more of a sample size. You know, if there's 100 Kens and 70% of them win, that's 70 Kens winning. But if you get a sample size of 10 Dhalsims and 8 Dhalsims are winning, then that's 80%. Like, well, Dhalsim's clearly better, right? So I understand what he's going for here, and it makes sense, but there's also, you have to look at how many people, like, there should be a number of like 42 Dhalsims, you know, 72 Eds, 15 Zangiefs, so on and so forth.
Zangief and Dhalsim having huge red 39% win rate against
Zangief. You know,
like,
makes sense.
He's got this 45% here, and then he also has big greens, right? Like 56% here.
Does bad against zoners, right? He's a grappler. He does bad against zoners. And JP has a reversal that beats throws.
43%, 42%.
And then you can combo.
He just has
Makes sense.
Ton of matchups that are really skewed. Archetypes like Dhalsim and Gief, they're very sharp characters. They like really win big or lose hard. Like
yeah.
They're not characters that are balanced and are like kind of good at everything. If that character is the best in the game, they don't have the identity the character's supposed to have. They don't have big strengths and big weaknesses. They're just like big strengths.
They have what they have, right? A Dhalsim's going to have long range normals and fireballs and teleport, as Zangief's going to have pretty good normals, right? I mean, realistically, right? Zangief has very good normals in this game, and he's going to throw your ass, right? That's what they're designed to do, right? That's the character. You're not going to give Dhalsim a fucking, you know, goddamn bazooka that's unblockable, and you're not going to give Zangief the ability to fucking teleport grab you, right? Like, you have to keep the characters to their identity. And the more that you reuse a character, this is where it gets tough, because now if you try to add stuff or take away stuff from these very specific archetypes, then you might ruin the actual identity of the character, right? Which is very important. I mean, look at what happened with Green Hand, right? Zangief had Green Hand, and until a day fucking Zangief gets that shit back, everybody's going to keep saying, where the fuck is Green Hand? Where the fuck is Green Hand? Bring that shit back. They took away something that kind of became Zangief's identity somewhat and a part of his game plan, got Rivet, gave him fucking Thunderstorm, and now everybody's like, what the fuck? That's stupid.
He's the best at everything.
That's like taking away Dhalsim's teleport.
He plays Zangief because he's like the big grappler man who like
he's gonna grab your ass.
Takes it in there and grabs you. You could just die in one interaction. You don't play Dhalsim because Dhalsim is good at everything. You play Dhalsim because he is the zoner man. He's a zoner guy. But now he's a little bit better, right? Now he's a little better with the zoner. He can do fireball, drive rush, heavy kick.
big boy fucking damage.
Just dies, right? Like that's how the characters are supposed to work. These are the archetypes, and that's how they're built, so that they can occupy these kinds of spaces that are unique in design. And by nature of that, if they're too powerful, they probably lose things that make their design supposed to, like, tolerable to other people.
Okay, see, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Let more like well-rounded characters be
Okay.
strong.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
These characters tend to be more even across the board on how they interact with the cast than characters like Zangief or Dhalsim. But if you want to get into the thick of it, characters
The thick of it. I'm in the
huge
thick of it.
archetypes-
Everybody knows. The song stuck in my head, dude. Everybody on TikTok is memeing on it. And what did that lead to? Now we all fucking know the goddamn chorus of the song. Think about that. Think about that.
archetypes like zoners. Don't say grapplers. If you say grapplers, the fucking Zangief players will be like, "Yo, Zangief's not allowed to be good," even though he's been good in Street Fighter 4 and 5 and 6 in different versions. Okay, calm down. Sharp character archetypes compared to the rest of the cast. These archetypes usually
True.
require a pretty large change in your game plan to fight. Think about
Exactly.
up into a Street Fighter match.
Right, Zangief, if you're gonna main Zangief, you have to know you gotta be very good on your perfect parries. You gotta be very good at, think of like his charge heavy punch. You gotta know when to use Zangief's charge heavy punch, because if you don't use it properly, you're gonna get DI'd. But if you use it properly, you can eat a DI like he did against like Itabashi did against Idam's Manon. Idam woke up DI, but he had the fucking charge heavy punch going as a read, ate the fucking DI because of the armor, punish counter, won the fucking game, right? Like, there's so many things that when you think about grapplers, they have to learn the game at not necessarily like a slower pace, but like they have to understand, like, I need to take my big fucking character from this side of the screen to this side of the screen. How the fuck am I going to do that efficiently when I'm against fucking Luke, right? So versus somebody like Jury, who's like, I'm just going to fucking drive rush standing medium punch and have him eat 90 fucking plus frames.
Your game plan against Ken and Ryu and, Luke and Chun-Li and Rashid and like a lot of the characters is not going to be that different, right?
Yeah.
Like Manon and Aki and Jury. Like, you fight all these characters, you kind of know what to do.
Well, Manon and Aki are definitely polar opposites.
Fighting Zangief. Immediately, the way you're playing the game is changing, right? Or you
I don't think.
in and you fight Dhalsim.
I don't think you're gonna fight Aki the same way you're gonna fight Manon. You're not gonna eat a fucking poison fireball with this bitch running behind it, doing a double leg fucking plus on block fucking move. It's gonna lead your ass. Manon's gonna fucking hobble her way towards you.
Have an advantage in that sense. Even if the character is not super powerful, they have an advantage in that they make you change your playstyle. The second thing about them is that because of the way they're designed, generally they have big wins and big losses. If the character is too powerful, matchups that are supposed to be natural predators to them, right? Like the rushdown character beats the zoner beats the grappler beats the rushdown.
Right, classic
like archetypal
paper, rock,
balance.
scissors,
Just falls apart. Like Dhalsim at the end of 5, his weaknesses aren't there anymore. Like, you get in on him and he has TK Gale to like beat your throw, and he has like V shift and all these options to like beat you on defense.
You need weak, right? Every character needs weaknesses. And I think that's the problem with modern fighting games is, in my opinion, developers don't want to give characters weaknesses. But when they give characters weaknesses, other characters don't have weaknesses. So then you're like, well, why am I playing my character when that guy? It's the common like Akuma thing, right? What doesn't Akuma have in Street Fighter 6? And yet, why the fuck does Jamie still suck dick, right? Why the fuck did they give Akuma everything he has, and yet they can't balance Jamie to be fucking good, at least good. At least get a top 8, right? Like, what's going on? Like, just give Jamie some good shit or take away the good shit from Akuma and make him balanced, right? You need pros and cons. Once again, why I think Ed is the best designed character. Ed has a lot of pros and Ed has a lot of cons.
Strong offense. He has insanely strong neutral and zoning. When Zangief is too powerful, it's the same thing, right? Normally, it's because his defense.
My cat's cleaning himself in front of me. There's his fucking paw.
And offense is so powerful that like zoners can't keep him out, which means no one can keep him out. And he has tons of life. He has tons of damage. Like, he's just gonna pull up and murder you. They lose a bit of their identity if they're really, really powerful. Now, I'm not saying like naturally like they're good at everything.
Yeah, true.
Characters aren't sometimes overtuned, because like I'm not gonna tell you that Akuma is not too strong.
Hey, see, look at that.
Like that Bison, he has like 5 of the best moves in the game or something, right? I'm not telling you that the other characters are not too powerful in this version.
Okay, yeah, see, yeah, right. I respect that, right? This is not a video being like, grapplers can't be good and fucking, but I'm, but then trying to like be like, well, Akuma's not that good, blah, blah. No, I think this is a good video of being like, let me talk a little bit more about grapplers and zoners, right? And we kind of understand that characters like Bison and Akuma do exist. Maybe they fucking should be tweaked, right? And it happens to be like that, but we're not saying that the grappler should be a Bison and Akuma. At least that's how I'm taking it, right? A grappler, zoners, fucking everybody else in the cast should not be Bison and Akuma. Everybody should have the pros and the fucking cons when you go into it. But the game system is also what allows, I believe, grapplers to be better. The parry system, right? What a zoner has a fireball, you have a perfect parry. You can perfect parry and then walk before they recover. Perfect parry, walk. Perfect parry, walk. Like everybody has access to this, so it limits the threat a zoner has, right? Because there's no chip damage unless you're in burnout. That's when zoners shine, so on and so forth.
But I'm just explaining why people may often see developers hit archetypes that are super sharp and skewed harder or more often than characters like Akuma or Bison or Ed, or like characters that are well-rounded.
Don't throw Ed in there. Don't throw Ed in there, Sajams. Ed has no 50-50 mix. He doesn't have a command grab. He has 1+ unblocked normal that you have to be fucking standing. You can DI all of his damn moves. His decent combo requires skill. Everything about Ed is fucking flawless. Don't fucking throw Ed in the Bison and Akuma, brother. No shot.
Who are more balanced.
I'm sorry.
And interact with the cast in more similar ways.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
They don't make you change the way you're playing in a massive amount, right? It's the same reason. Why do you think they buffed JP? Especially in the first season of the game, he is outrageously powerful, and they nerfed him.
He's the main. He's
the
big bad.
They buffed JP. The reason is that the character is hard, and he's like a specialist character, right?
True. JP combos
difficult and like take a lot of effort and commitment, and are specialist characters like that. Be powerful, and he's like a pretty unique archetype, and so he's a little on the weak side. They were like, okay, no one is playing him.
Nobody wants. Yeah. If your character takes a lot of skill to play, but then you don't get as much reward as Akuma doing like fucking stand heavy punch, right? You're gonna, once again, it's the common thing of my character has so many fucking weaknesses, and he's hard to play, and there's all these fucking weird fucking setups. And I have the only, I will say, like, JP has the only fucking fireball you can, like, run through. He has the only command grab you can, like, semi-dash through if you time it right. It's very fucking weird. Right? So, and then now you just make him fucking worse. Who the hell wants to play that?
He's too hard and not worth the effort. So they gave him some buffs, right? That's why a character like that gets targeted. I don't know why they didn't target insert.
I like it. I don't mind with JP being good.
I can tell you that's why JP got buffs. Commenter in chat says, specialist character when every player was using him in tournaments in season 1. Lamau, he was just broken. Critical thinking here. Why do you think they nerfed him? He was supposed to be a difficult specialist character, and he was too powerful in season 1 of the game. I know. We all know that he was too strong.
Yep.
In the game. I promise you, we were all there. That's why they nerfed him a bunch. And then they're like, okay, well, we nerfed him a bunch, but now nobody's playing him. Now he's not powerful enough to justify the effort to put in the character currently. In fact, I still don't even know if he is.
He's good. No, I'm not gonna say JP's like as busted as season 1, but I just saw fucking, I forgot who the fuck, but some Japanese player put a clip on Twitter. JP, dude, he was fucking jumping around, comboing off of his fucking departures in level 2. I think he jumped like 3 fucking times in his combo. He jumped 3 times, bro. JP has some crazy shit. Okay, but I definitely don't think he's as strong as like he used to be. But overall, I think like that character being good, I respect it. Oh, what the hell? The calculation 69 for 20 minus 696969. Okay, interesting. Okay, cool. Making sure my calculations are right.
Is that there's characters that are better than him that are easier. Like I don't know if I would want to invest time into JP.
You know, yeah. When other characters exist. Yeah, I'm sorry for all the pausing, but that's true, right? If other JP was good season 1 because we had the 18 characters, right? And like 9 of them were fucking bad, right? You had Luke being good, Ken being good, JP being good, Jury being good, DJ being good, right? Fucking Guile being good, right? Cammy being good, right? You know what I'm saying? There's like, even now I'm trying to think on like the later half. But now that there's 23 characters and all the DLC characters are pretty fucking good, Rashi's really fucking good, Aki's really fucking good, Ez pretty fucking good, Akuma's really fucking good, Bison's pretty fucking good, and Terry's still the newest character out, so I mean, but Terry's pretty decent. right? Now you can bring those older characters back up because now there's more characters that can like meet them on that wavelength. Granted, you know, this is the whole like only buff, not nerf. Like, are you only go above Jamie while keeping JP the same? Like, it's tough, right? We're not fucking game designers, so it's very tough. But it's way easier to say stuff like that.
But that's why they made the changes they made, right? Yeah, Dhalsim is also a specialist character. The problem with Sim, he is not too powerful, but I also don't think he's super weak. He's probably kind of middling right now.
Yeah, I mean, if you're good with a Sim, like, if you fight a good Sim, you'll know. You fight a bad one, you know.
They gave him some good stuff in this patch, but his problem is he still dies. I think the biggest Dhalsim buffs would be nerfs to Bison and nerfs to, like, Rashid. Yeah, Marissa is another example of a character. A lot of people have dropped. Bison, I think, just makes her obsolete.
Dude, I said this in a video. I made a video about this. I said, what the fuck is the point of playing Marissa if you can play Bison and any other character, like any of the good characters, right? The S tier ones, and do the same amount of damage, but have better fucking normals. Like, why play Marissa when you can punish counter a character with Akuma with his fucking adamant fist, do a whole ass combo for the same amount of damage, and you still have a fucking DP and a fireball? And Bison, you put a bomb on him, hit him with a fucking EX fucking bloop, psycho fucking, what? Stop hitting that button. Bloop, you know, boo, hit him with the stomp, level 3, they're dead. Like, why play Marissa? She's obsolete.
She is a very skewed archetype. Her thing is big damage, and they leaned into it harder. This version of the game, they made her less stable, more damage. They moved her away from the rest of the cast because they wanted to keep her identity, I think, but it cost her some strength. The other thing that makes her, I think, a lot weaker, a lot of people are like, look at Marissa's win rate on this chart of 1900 MR plus. This proves she's really weak. When all the strong Marissa players drop Marissa, she's going to be weaker. Big Bird doesn't play Marissa anymore, and Shudo doesn't play Marissa anymore.
Yep, I think one person plays Marissa on Twitter, Japanese player.
In the world drop Marissa
Shozan?
The character's going to appear weaker, for sure, right? Because, like, even if she is weaker, also all the specialists who mained her,
they went to new people.
Why is Jamie weak when he has all the good stuff? Like, he has crouching medium kick, drive rush cancel, he has an EX DP, he has a 6-frame medium. People said this is the same thing as Terry, right? How could a character who has all the things you're supposed to need to be good in the game be weak? It turns out that characters are good because they're good. You don't, tools are literally not the only thing that matters. In fact, when you think about the powerful characters here, like Fireball, Drive.
Yeah, okay, this is what I was talking about earlier, right? Dhalsim's a C tier. He's literally number 1 on the fucking thingy, right? Zangief is A tier. He's number, what, 2 or 3? And then Ed is 4th best, and he was like number 2 or 3, right? So where the fuck is the Rashid, Akuma, Bison? I'm not, you know, I could say Goki and Vega, but like, I'm a fucking, that would make me a fucking poser. I'm not gonna lie. If you say Goki instead of Akuma, maybe depending how old you are and where the fuck you got the game, I'll understand that. If you're like, it's actually Goki Arroyo and Vega is actually Vega because M. Bison used to be Mike Tyson, and shut the fuck up, okay? It's M. Bison now, or you can say Dictator if you want to be real fucking fancy. So yeah, so Rashid, Akuma, and you know, Bison, right? Where are they at, right? On that fucking cat cami ship. So very important.
Like, Rashid doesn't fireball drive rush. Bison doesn't fireball drive rush. Even Ed doesn't really do fireball drive. It's really only Ken and Akuma of these strong characters that do that, right? As an example, Ed is a good character who doesn't really do.
Well, that's a little bit of a loaded question, right? Is Rashid doesn't do fireball drive rush? Rashid does full screen fireball into either he's gonna fly at you, he's gonna spin at you, or he's gonna run at you, right? Like so. And if they spin at you, you can't DI that, right? You can parry it, but then I believe he's plus on the spin when it comes from the fireball, right? Rashid has like his own fucking game plan, right?
He wins because he has good mid range. He manages drive gauge well. He manages super meter well with level 2. He has an EX DP, but it's so slow that you can like safely media or. Like,
I fucking hate that. I put that in the video too.
And stuff against it. It doesn't even serve the.
Me and Sajams are the same guy, dude. I think we would get along.
Rashid wins by doing his good tornado. To like space you out and then use the movement options off of it, or driver's crushing light.
Bro, that's literally what I just said. Bro, me and Sajam. Bro, Sajam, you're never gonna see this. If you do, you know what? Fuck it. I'll post this video on Twitter and say, hey, Sajam, I'm just a little guy. I made a video reacting to this shit. Can you just, if you want to watch on like on your free time, let me know like what you think. But that'd be pretty sick. No, who the fuck cares, man? What's he gonna do? Ignore me? He doesn't even know I exist. Worth a shot.
And then same thing with Bison. Bison doesn't have fireball approach. He doesn't even have good defense.
Well, Bison has fireball approach to your fireball. You do a fireball, he does EX Psycho Crusher, which is now -3. Granted, it's not plus, but now he's in your fucking face from full screen. And depending on it, you might already be near burned out. You're going to eat a fucking bar drive gauge chip and then go from there, right? Bison has like his own game plan. Once again, like these two don't do fireball drive rush, but they have other ways of getting in. That's like saying Cammy doesn't do fireball drive rush. No, she's going to fucking spin knuckle and be safe on block, and now she's in your goddamn face.
Best in class offense, best in class neutral, you know what I mean? Like he just wins by being really powerful in the other.
He's a good character.
Game. Guile and JP have been two of the strongest characters in the game through all of the versions. Basically, he also does not have. Neither of these characters have.
Of course, you can DI
like Geef,
spin knuckle, but sometimes you're not always ready.
Does not have crouching medium kick drive rush. Ed doesn't really do it either. He has crouching medium punch drive rush, which is similar, but it's not very good compared to the.
Yeah, it has pretty bad fucking range, but it's not the worst one.
Cammy, and you know what I mean, like the character's actually doing it all the time. Terry has all the tools that you're supposed to have, but he's not strong. Yeah, I mean, I play by.
I struggle. I don't struggle against Terry, but Terry's an interesting one.
Stupid because he's too good. I think he's moronic. I hate him. But that's like, you know, why the characters are balanced this way, and that's why devs may think about these characters in this way. I hate when you see people, their mouths are moving and their brains are not.
Tragic. Trust me.
Things like, the grappler can't have anything in this game, right, guys? They're like, oh man, we grapplers just always never can be.
No,
good.
Grappler has to be.
People are not.
They just have to fit the grappler archetype, right? A grappler can be good as long as they stay being a grappler, right? A zoner can be good as long as they stay being a zoner. When you start changing them to accommodate for their weaknesses, then what's stopping them from? What the fuck's stopping Luke from being a grappler, right? Just give a grappler a fucking fireball at that point, and give Dawson a command grab, right? Like. They can always be good, but they have to be true to their archetype, because then it shows that like they understand the archetype, and the archetype's supposed to win against these options. But if you make it so easy for them to beat those options, then you're like, well, what the fuck, dude? Zangief can just fucking sprint full screen at me, plus frame, beat my ass with high damaging normals, and then command grab me, and then it's a hard knockdown, right? So I can't back tech, which leads into a meaty fucking drive rush again. You're like, well, what the fuck is this guy doing? He's fucking shooting across the screen. Zangief is supposed to hobble his way to me. Why the fuck is he? Fucking sweep goes halfway across the goddamn screen. Hard knockdown. Runs again. Boom. You're like, fuck, man. Let me fuck. Plus, what was that? Plus fucking 50 on block. All right, but yeah, that's the end of the video. Any closing remarks, Sajam?
About why this is like this.
True. We'll hit the same outro. All right, thank you everybody for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Hit subscribe, comment, leave a like, and I'll see you all again next time. See ya!